question is, find the column rank of a matrix. So next type, how we can find the column rank. So statement is, find the column rank of a matrix. Find the column rank of a matrix. So matrix is given by A, which is 1 3, first row 1 3 2 4, second row 5 2 0 1, third row 3 -4 7 -7, fourth row -7 5 6 and 10. So this is a type in which we can find the column rank. So just understand the method. So not solve the question. So just understand the method. So if we are talking about a column rank, then we will apply only column operation. So remember this. If we are talking about the row rank, then we will apply row operation. Otherwise, if we are talking about the column rank, then we will apply the column operation. Now, these are the diagonal entries. So this is 4 by 4 matrix. So these are the diagonal entries. My aim is the entry above the diagonal should be 0. So 3, 2, 4, this and this. All of entries should be 0. So remember this. So first, my purpose to make it 0, to make it 0 and to make it 0. So to make it 0, I operate C2, which is C2 minus 3C1. Similarly, C3, which is C3 minus 2C1. Similarly, C4, which is a C4 minus 4C1, because the first entry is 1. So if we multiply in this way and if we will operate in this way, the column operation, so all of these entries will be 0. Now first column will be same, 1 5 3 minus 7. It is first column. And second is minus 3 and add to this column. So this will be 0. So minus 3 minus 15 plus 2 minus 13, minus 9 minus 4 minus 13, minus into minus 21 plus 5 26. So it is my second column. Now third column, now multiply minus 2, then add. So first term will be 0, then minus 10 to 0, minus 10, So minus 6 minus 4 minus 10, then 14 plus 6, so this is a 20. Now fourth column, so multiply by minus 4, then add to this, so this will be 0. So minus 20 plus 1 minus 19, and then minus 12 minus 7, again minus 19, and this term which is minus 24, it is a 24, minus 4 into minus 7, 28. So 28 plus 10, which is a 38. So by using this operation, so we get this values. Now after that, this term which is equivalent to this term, now my aim is it should be 1 and the other term should be 0. So to make it 1, I operate C2, which is minus 1 by 13 into C2, C3, which is minus 1 by 10 into C3, C4, which is minus 1 by 19 into C4. So what we get? We get 1, 5, 3 minus 7, 0 minus 13, this is a 0, 1, 1, 2. So this will be 0, then 1, 1, 2, again 0, 1, 1, 2, again 0, 1, 1, 2. So I get this values. Now again apply the operation. Now in this case, this term should be 1, so it is 1, and these two terms should be 0, these two terms. So to make it 0, we apply C3, which is C3 minus C2, and C4, which is C4 minus C2. So this matrix will convert into first column 1, 5, 3 minus 7, second column 0, 1, 1, 2, and third column 0, 0, 0, 0, fourth column 0, 0, 0, and 0. So our matrix is converted into this. Now check diagonal entry. So upper part of diagonal entry is 0. So this is a 0. Now we will stop at this stage. Now see that the matrix is converted into column echelon form. If column echelon forms, so what we will find out, the number of non-zero column. The number of non-zero column, which is equal to 2. It means rank of this matrix. So it can also say that the column rank of this matrix, which is equal to 2. So in the previous question, in the previous lecture, we find that the row rank of this matrix is 2. So here we find out the column rank of the matrix is equal to 2. So that is our result. So in this way we can find the row rank as well as the column rank. So remember that when we want to find out the row rank, then apply only row operation. When our purpose is to find the column rank, then apply only column operation. Now for next question, so that is again very important. So find the row rank of a matrix. So find the row rank of a matrix. Find the row rank of a matrix, and this matrix is of this kind. So whose first one row 1 2 minus 1 3, second 4 1 2 1, 4 1 2 1, third 3 minus 1 1 and 2, and fourth 1 2 0 and 1. So that is my question. So to find the row rank of the matrix, so just concentrate on the calculation. So in these question, the major mistake is in calculation. Now to find the row rank, my first aim is this term and this term should be 0. So apply the operation, which is R2 minus 4R1, R3 which is R3 minus 3R1, R and R4 which is R4 minus R1. So this is a simple calculation. So first column is same, 1 2 minus 1 and 3. Now multiply by minus 4 and add to this row. So this will be 0, minus 8 plus 1 minus 7, 4 plus 2 6, minus 12 plus 1 minus 11. Now next, minus 3 plus 3 0, minus 6 minus 1 minus 7, 3 plus 1 4. If we multiply by minus 3, so it is a 3 plus 1 which is a 4, then minus 9 plus 2 minus 7, minus 9. Now next is just subtracting. So this term is 0, next term is 0, next is 1, next is minus 2. So we get this matrix. Now in this case, my aim is to find this term should be 1 and the remaining, the below entries should be 0. So to make it 0, so we apply directly the operation R2 which is R2 minus R. So because the both entries are minus 7, so 1 2 minus 1 3, 0 minus 7, 6 minus 11, 0 0 minus 2, and this is 4, and next is 0 0 1 and minus 2. So this is a next reduced matrix. Now again to make it 1, so we multiply by minus, so R2, in the case of R2 I multiply 1 by 7 into R2, and next it should be multiple of, it is a multiple of 2, so R3 can be written as minus 1 by 2 into R3. So what we get 1 2 minus 1 3 0 1 minus 6 by 7 and 11 by 7, and this term is 0 0 1 and minus 2, and here 0 0 1 and minus 2. So we get these values. Now diagonal entry, it is a 1, so my purpose is to make it 0. So to make it 0, so I apply the operation R4, which is R4 minus R3. So this will be 1 2 minus 1 3 0 1 minus 6 by 7 11 by 7 0 0 1 minus 2, and this will be 0 0 0 and 0. So all entries below this diagonal are 0. So this is a row reduced echelon form. So in this row reduced echelon form, so this is a row reduced echelon form. So this is a row reduced echelon form. So in this case, number of non-zero rows, which is equal to 3, hence rank of this matrix, which is equal to 3. So that is our answer. So in this way we can find the row rank. So row rank and column rank must be a same. These are always equal. Row rank, if we find the column rank of this matrix, then it will be also a 3. So row rank and column ranks are always equal. Now in this way we can find the row rank and column rank of a matrix. So that is also called a rank. I am going to start, which is a vector space. So vector space. So vector space. So what is the definition of vector space? First, n vector. So just we understand the sum concept. First is n vector. An ordered of n number is called n vector. An ordered set of n vector is called ordered set of n numbers, which is called a n vector. For example, x1, x2 and xn. So this is called a n vectors. So this is a n vector. For example, it is a n vector. So remember this, it is n vector. Now next definition is, what is the linear independent vectors? So similarly there are two definitions. One is linear independent and second is linear dependent. So first, linear dependent vectors. Also we can say that LD vector. So this is also say that LD vectors. So what is the definition of LD vectors? Now definition of LD vectors is set V1 because it is vector, V2 and so on up to Vn. These set of vectors are said to be linear dependent. Remember that. This is said to be linear dependent if there exist scalars mean numbers. So scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, not all zero, such that alpha 1 V1 vector plus alpha 2 V2 vectors plus so on plus alpha n Vn vector, which is equal to 0. So if this is equal to 0, 0 means it is a 0 vector, this linear combination equal to 0 vector, in that case these vectors are called linear dependent vectors. If it is a not linear dependent, in that case it is called linear independent vector. So any set of vectors which is not linear dependent is called linear independent vector. So in that case it is called linear independent vector, or we can also say that a vector is set V1, V2 and Vn. So this is all are vector of n vectors are said to be linear independent if every relation of the form alpha 1 v1 alpha 2 v2, so alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus so on alpha n vn equal to 0, and it implies all scalar should be 0. All scalar should be 0. Then it is called a linear independent vector. Otherwise it is a linear dependent. So if the all scalar are 0, then linear independent. Remember this. If all at least one is non-zero, then it is called a linear dependent vector. Now next definition is linear combination of vectors. Linear combination of vectors. Now a vector x is said to be linear combination of vectors which is v1 v2 and so on vn. So this is a vector and this x is a vector which is a linear combination of vector this. If we can write it as vector x which is equal to alpha 1 v1 vector, alpha 2 v2 vector plus alpha n vn vector. So where alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha n, these are all scalars. So these are all scalar. So it is a definition of linear combination. So remember all these definition, which is a linear combination, which is a linear independent, linear dependent. So all these definition are. Now first theorem. So here we are going to prove the first result, the first theorem. So what is the statement of the first theorem? So remember this statement. If a set of vector is linear independent, if a set of vectors are linear dependent, if a set of vector are linear dependent, show that at least one member of the set, at least one member of the set is a linear combination of remaining one. So it is a combination of remaining one. So that is our first theorem. So this is very important. If we have a linear dependent vector, then one should be the linear combination of the previous one. Now suppose v1 vector, v2 vector and vn vector, these are LD vector. LD vector mean linear dependent vectors. These are linear dependent vector. Now by definition, there exist scalars. There exists scalar alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, not all 0. There exists scalar alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, not all 0, such that alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha n vn, which is equal to 0. So this is equation number 1. So that is a simple definition of this. Alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n are scalars, not all 0. At least one is non-zero. Suppose alpha I is not 0. Suppose, because at least one is non-zero, then assume that, just suppose alpha is not equal to 0. If alpha is not equal to 0, so this linear combination can be written as alpha I vi vector, which is equal to minus alpha 1 v1 plus and so on, minus alpha I minus 1 vi minus 1 vector minus alpha I plus 1 into vi plus 1 vector and so on, minus alpha n and vn vector, this value. Now this number is non-zero, it implies, so we can divide by alpha I, we can multiply by 1 by alpha I. So it means vi vector, which is equal to minus alpha 1 alpha I into v1 vector plus minus alpha I minus 1 alpha I vi minus 1 vector plus minus alpha I plus 1 alpha I, which is vi plus 1 vector plus so on up to, so this is a plus minus alpha n over alpha I, which is a vn vector. Now this is again a scalars. So this is a scalar, this is a scalar, and this is a scalar, and this is a scalar. So if all are scalar, then this relation show that Vi, which is a, this relation show that Vi vector, which is a linear combination of remaining vectors. So what are the remaining vectors? These are V1, V2, Vi minus 1, then Vi plus 1, and last Vn vector. So if we have a set of linear dependent vector, then one vector is the linear combination of the remaining one. Now next theorem is, we can also say that theorem, we can also used it as a article. So if V is the linear combination of set, if V vector, which is a linear combination of the vectors V1, V2, and so on up to Vn. So my purpose is to prove that then the set which is a V vector, V1 vector, V2 vector, and Vn vector, and this set is linear dependent. So what is the proof of this result? Now if the fundamental of definitions are clear, then we can prove any article, theorem, we can prove any article or theorems. Now use only statement V is the linear combination of these vectors. So it implies this vector V, this can be written as alpha 1 V1 plus alpha 2 V2 plus alpha n Vn, where alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n are all scalars. Remember that. So this is a all scalars. Why we write equation number 1? Because V is the linear combination of these vectors. Now this can be written as V, so this V and this value, so we can shift this to this, this to this. So we get alpha 1 V1 vector, alpha 2 V2 vector plus alpha n Vn vector plus minus 1 into V vector, which is equal to 0. Now these vectors are linear dependent. Why? Because by definition of linear dependent, at least one scalar should be 0. Now in this case, this scalar is minus 1 and minus 1 is non-zero. It implies the set which consisting vector v, v1, v2, v3 and vn. So this set is linear dependent. This set is linear dependent. So that is the proof of our result. So this is a proof of our result. Now this result is, so next result, so all the result are fundamental result based on the definition. Prove that every superset of linear dependent set is linear dependent. So it means a superset of any linear dependent set is again a linear dependent. Prove that, statement is prove that any superset means bigger set of linear dependent vectors are linear dependent means any bigger set of linear LD are LD. So remember this. Now suppose that now suppose this set V1, V2 and Vp, this is a linear dependent set, right? Now again this set V1, V2, Vp, Vp plus 1 and so on Vn. So this is a superset of this set V1, V2 and so on up to Vp. So this is a superset of these vectors, and V1, V2, Vp are linear independent. So since it is a linear independent, so since remember this set V1, V2 and Vp vector, this is a linear dependent. So it means there exist alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha p scalars, not all zero, such that alpha 1, V1, alpha 2, V2 and alpha p Vp which is equal to 0, right? So at least one is non-zero. Now this equation can be written as alpha 1 V1, plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha p vp plus 0 into vp plus 1, this 0 into vp plus 2, so on 0 into vn vector which is equal to 0. Now at least one of these alpha I is non-zero, so at least one of these alpha I is again non-zero. In this case, then it implies v1 vector, v2 vector and so on up to vn vector. So these are linear dependent vectors. These are linear dependent vectors. So again it is a very important result. Now the set of all n vectors over F is denoted by, so this is just to remember, set of all n vectors, set of all n vectors over a field, it may be real or it may be complex, over field F, so is denoted by Vn of F. So field, these are scalars and this contains a vector. So just remember this. So this is a, now prove that the set S of all linear combination of given set fixed vector is a subspace of V0. So we will discuss later on the subspace, vector space. Now row rank and column rank. So we discussed in the, so here you just discuss the definitions. Now next is row rank and column rank. So column rank. So we already discussed in the previous chapter, the previous lecture. So what is a row rank and what is a column rank? If so, just understand the definition. If A is any m cross n matrix, suppose it is a m cross n matrix. If it is m cross n matrix, then the space spanned by set of m rows, then the space mean vector space, spanned by set of m rows. So you will understand by question. So just m rows, because m cross n matrix, so it has m rows and n columns. So the space spanned by set of m rows is called row space is called a row space of a matrix A. So which is called a space spanned by. So what is space, how it is spanned by, and what is basis? So we just learn in the next definition. Similarly, so this is a first part, this is a second part. If the space spanned by set of n columns is called column space of matrix A, right? Now here we used two terms. One is space, that is a vector space, subspace, and second is spanned by, right? So spanned by means it is a linear combination of vectors. If I say that, so what is a subspace? I just write the definition. Subspace spanned by a set of vectors. So what is the, it's a definition, just understand. Let v1, v2 and so on vn. So these are n vector, be set of n vectors. So it is a set of n vectors, number one. The set of, now the set of all linear combination of the set of linear combination of above set mean v1, v2, v3 and so on up to vn is called subspace spanned by vectors which are v1 spanned by vector v1, v2 and vn. Clear? So this is a spanned by. Now next, basis of a subspace. So remember this definition. Basis of a subspace: if any set of this subspace is linear independent. So what is definition? Is set of n vectors. Set of n vectors is said to be basis if it satisfies two conditions. Number one condition, the subspace is spanned by this set. Subspace is spanned by the set, number one. Number two, number one subspace is spanned by this set is linear independent. So we have two part. One is that set must be linear independent, and second is it is a spanned by that set, then it is called a basis. Clear? Now row rank and column rank, the another definition of a row rank and column rank. So another definition. So what is a row rank? So row rank is the subspace spanned by m rows, so that is a row rank. So row rank of any matrix, row rank of any matrix A, if row rank of any matrix A is the maximum number of, just understand this definition, is the maximum number of linear independent so just I write it very wrong way, so very wrong spelling in the flow. So linear independent, right? So independent rows in A. So just remember this definition at the BSc 1 level. So if you did not learn read the vector space, subspace, then understand this definition. Row rank is of any matrix is the maximum number of linear independent rows. So you know the linear independent, so maximum number of linear independent rows are called row rank, and similarly also row rank is the number of non-zero row of the echelon form. So what is this? It is the number of non-zero rows of row reduced echelon form. Row reduced echelon form. So this is for row. Similarly, in case of column, so what is in case of column? Column rank of any matrix is the maximum number of linear independent column in A. Number two, number of non-zero column of column reduced echelon form. So this is a, in case of row, it is a row reduced echelon form, and similarly in case of column, it is a column reduced echelon form. Now, what is the working method to find the row rank? So now we are going for a practical application. So what is a working method to find the row rank? Similarly in case of column rank. So no difference. So just understand in case of row. Step number 1. So what is a step? Step number 1. If given matrix, if A is square matrix, number 1 matrix, and determinant of A should be non-zero. So one is it is a square matrix, and second is its determinant is non-zero. So this was. So it means row rank of A which is equal to its order. मान लो because suppose we have a 2 by 2 square matrix and its determinant is 0, non-zero, then it means its row rank is 2. If we have matrix of order 3 and its determinant is 0, non-zero, then again its order is that is a row rank. Clear? So this is very simple, just to check the. So in case of rectangular or singular matrix, we reduce A into row echelon form, then the number of non-zero rows in a reduced echelon form is called row rank. So step number 2, if we have square matrix, then there is no problem. If A is rectangular if A is rectangular or singular matrix, suppose singular matrix, so in this case A is a rectangular and singular matrix. Now we will reduce this matrix into row reduced echelon form. So number of non-zero rows are which is equal to row rank. So similarly in case of column rank. And also remember that the row rank and column rank are always same. So remember this thing. Clear? Now after that we will do some important important theorems. So before going to that theorem, we will discuss some important question to understand the definition of a linear independent, linear dependent and linear combination, row space and row rank, and similarly column space and column rank. When we will go through these questions, then we will understand all these definitions. So at this stage we just aware about that definition, but we will understand only after solving the some question.